How's it going, guys? Getting the skid loader greased up. We're gonna scoop some manure out of the special needs pen this morning. My dad's getting the spreader up there ready to go. Looks like it's trying to rain out here today. We had a lot of good rains earlier in the fall, and then now it's been a little bit dry lately. Yeah, the dragline guy, he went across this way with his manure because he was kind of doing the whole farm at once. People ask why we have these strips that contour around here. The fields are like this to reduce erosion. It was more necessary back in the day when we were plowing everything. You'd have every other field, if you were plowing one field, the other one have an established crop in it so that the rainwater wouldn't wash across and wash too much soil off. The strips contour across the hill, so as water's trying to run down the hill, even just across any individual field, the ridges of the plowed ground would keep it from flowing downhill. It is nice with no-till, we're not really disturbing the soil, so erosion is less of a big deal. Start my PTO up here. Hey, let's go. Let's go. See how high the pack's getting. I can't even get this gate closed. It's been about 6 weeks since we had this pen completely cleaned out. A lot of times in the past at this point, we would go ahead and scoop everything out down to the concrete, start fresh. It is nice to do that. The only thing is, for the cows' sake, it's actually not the best, in my opinion. They really like having this established pack. It's just more comfortable than a little bit of shavings on top of the concrete. The other thing is it takes so long to get this all cleaned out. Cows are standing here for a number of hours until they can get back on the pack again. We'll definitely still clean it all out sometimes, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to push it off a few more weeks, just take some off the top today. I'm getting started with the afternoon feed mixing now. Got the tractor mixer ready to go. The first batch we do in the afternoon is for the dry cows. I have my mineral for that batch here, and then we got some separate mineral we're gonna add because we'll save a little bit of that dry cow feed, add some goodies, and run it out to the pre-fresh cows up in the milking barn there. Those are the dry cows that are just about to calve, and we give them a special mineral to help with that transition process into milking. I did a video about 6 months ago talking about a new product we were trying. We're moving away from the negative DCAD mineral diet on the pre-fresh cows. We're still on that different mineral. That's this excellent product. We've been extremely happy so far with how that's worked out. We've seen improvement with our fresh cows. Seems like they eat better after calving. We're having less milk fever cases. We weren't having major fresh cow problems, but we thought it could be better. After this switch, we've really seen improvement. It's been pretty nice to not have to treat too many cows with low calcium. So yeah, for the dairy farmers that are watching, you know what I'm talking about. If you're having issues with, if you're on a DCAD system, I would recommend looking into Excellent. Talk to your nutritionist about it. No guarantee it's gonna work for everybody, but we're pretty happy so far. We're gonna put a little bit of mineral with some soybean meal and then hay, Triticale, silage. We'll run out to the dry cows and stop back up here and throw our extra mineral in. So we got some beautiful silage here. I do have one question. If anybody knows anything about bunker silos, why do we have a little bit of mold right there? It's actually a little worse than I thought there. I probably should have picked that out, but it's not up at the top. There's actually a layer of clean stuff there. Something about a layer there that we either brought something into the bunk or overpacked it. I don't know. There's just a white line right across there. Slight bit of mold in there. We feed a toxin binder, something to help if there would be any mold that sneaks in. That's gonna kind of help keep that from affecting the cows, but generally we're not pleased with that. That there's pretty minor, but that spot, it's just funny. You go up to the plastic up there, it's actually perfectly clean, nice silage. It's just about 8 inches down, 8 inches to a foot under the surface. Bunker silos, man, I guess if you're a perfectionist, you're gonna be disappointed. I got my scales right there. I can see going up to 2050 total. Well, we're about 20 pounds short, 30 pounds short. The key here is to get 30 pounds, no more, no less. Well, 40 pounds, close enough. All the ingredients for the dry cow batch are in the mixer, mixing now. Just gonna add a little bit of grain and then the excellent mineral to the bucket. These we would call the far off dry cows. They get about 6 weeks in this barn and then 2 weeks up in the pre-fresh pen. So that's their 8-week vacation. like to add the extra grain to give them some more energy as they're moving towards that calving date. This mix we're giving the dry cows has less energy and protein than the milking cow batch because they're not making all that milk. They're just kind of chilling out. We don't want them to get too fat. A little bit more hay, just some forages. Parked the mixer down there to start the milk cow batch. But I'd locked these headlocks for the pre-fresh cows because I had a couple things I wanted to do with these. So nice. We expanded this pen last year. It has 16 head spaces instead of the old pen, which was 12, which is actually a big difference for us because a lot of times we have around 10 to 12 cows in here, but some weeks there's a couple extra, so it's nice to have a little bit of leeway. Our old pen went from right there to here, 12 head spaces. We built this whole new section on. Been super nice. Right now we got 15 cows due within 2 weeks. A bunch of calves coming on the way here pretty soon. A couple of these I want to give a vaccine we'd run out of when I was drying them off, and they missed their mastitis vaccine, so I'm going to hit those. And then the first calf heifers in here, there's a handful of those. They don't have the Smax Tech boluses in them yet, so that's these here. Just get those assigned and give those pills. This would be for health monitoring. Got body temperature sensing, sits in the rumen, and rumination data, so it's really useful when they calve in. We can track how well they're eating. If they have a fever from a metritis case or something, we'll know that right away, and then that'll just be in the cow then for the rest of her life. The other thing I wanted to try with these heifers, we were at a meeting this past winter. There's a study done where they give an anti-inflammatory to first calf heifers 2 weeks before their due date, and they were saying that they were seeing good results from that. So something I was wanting to try here, to give them some aspirin. That's all it is, just aspirin. So that would be ones like this that haven't had any calves yet. Had a list here, 752, 524. It's just an implant, it's a dry vaccine, goes under the skin. It's supposed to help prevent mastitis. I say supposed to, it's not gonna automatically fix all our problems. Got that done. Now we'll move on to the health monitoring pills. So one thing that's about these Smax Tech pills, are really easy to assign to a cow and give it to them. And just read that code on the pill. Number 49 is the first heifer. Save that. It's also nice to get these pills in before they calve because they'll give us calving alerts. The animal's body temperature drops a little bit about 12 hours before they calve. And so these things are really accurate. I'll get an alert. I can expect a cow to calve within the next 12 to 24 hours. Every once in a while I'll get a false alert, but pretty much can expect it. And it's nice if I see an alert, but they don't calve, I know to check them a little bit closer. Just gonna give this aspirin yet. Seems crazy to think that giving aspirin one time 2 weeks before calving would have any effect, but I don't know. There's supposedly studies to back it up, so I figured we could try it. It's a cheap thing we can do. Yeah, it might be hard to notice a difference too quickly, but maybe if we do it for a while, we'll start to see a trend in a good direction. It's pretty easy to do just when we bring them up here, tie them in that first day, give them a pill. If I'm remembering right, the study was finding 5 or 10 pounds of milk per cow per day higher for the first 50 or 100 days of milk. I forget the exact numbers, but it was pretty substantial, the difference in production. I don't know, something with helps get rid of some swelling in the udder or something, and I don't know. Probably a crazy theory, but we'll try it. got this job wrapped up. My dad's actually getting started with the cow feeding for me.